students, and so far we have studied the reaction of metals with the water, acids, and we studied how the reaction varies. The reactivity series we have studied, and the displacement reaction. When the two metals you want to compare which metal have more reactivity, we have the series called reactivity series, where elements are arranged in the descending order of the reactivity, like we have at the topmost potassium, sodium, calcium, so on, and in between we have iron, zinc, etc., and the least reactive metals at last we have silver, gold, etc., in that series. Today we will learn what about the reaction between metal and non-metal. If you bring metal and non-metal, how they react, or which compound we will get, what is the nature of their reaction, that we study in today's class. So, reaction of metals with the non-metals. Now, if you see here in the previous class or the last previous standard you have studied, in the 9th standard, the inert gases or noble gases, there they won't react with other elements. The reactivity is not at all taking place in case of noble gases. Now, what is the reason? Because if you see their electronic configuration, example, neon, atomic number is 10. Atomic number 10, its electronic configuration, is 2, 8. That the valence shell, the outermost shell where the electrons you can find, that is called valence shell, and these are the valence electrons. If you see here, this outermost shell, this is K shell, L shell, M shell, so on. Okay. Now, in this L shell, the electrons, we have 8 electrons, it is completely filled. Okay. And this particular number 8, the number of electrons having 8 in number, that particular is called octet. Octet means, octa means 8. So, this structure will play a very important role. And another example I will take, neon, argon. Next noble gas is argon. Its atomic number is 18. And its electronic configuration, K shell 2 electron, L shell 8 electron, and M shell again 8 electron. If you see this also, here again we will have 8 electrons in the outermost shell or valence shell. It is filled with exactly 8 electron, the octet structure. This is the stable structure. Elements want to attain, their tendency to attain this structure, completely filled valence shell, especially with the 8 electrons. Octet structure they want to gain. In this regard, they will react with the other atoms of the elements to have this number, because they, other than noble gases, if you see here, they don't have exactly 8 electrons in the outermost shell, the elements. Okay. I will take the example of sodium and chlorine. Sodium is metal and chlorine is non-metal. Now, what is the things taking place when they react with each other, and how they will get the octet structure, the stability structure, the sense they are reacting with each other, that we will see now. Sodium chloride, you will see the common salt which we are using, it is sodium chloride. Sodium is metal, sodium, Na, its atomic number is 11. Okay. Its atomic number is 11. Electronic configuration, atomic number is nothing but total number of electrons and protons. It has got 11 electrons and 11 protons, sodium atom. Now, if you write the electronic configuration, K shell, L shell, M shell, etc. K shell 2 electrons, L shell 8 electrons, 2 plus 8, 10 plus 1, M shell 1 electron. So this is the electronic configuration. Now if you see the valence shell, the outermost shell, how many electrons it has? 1 electron. Okay, but it want 8 electron to get the stability. It needs 7 electrons to have this 8 structure in the outermost shell. Okay, now getting 8 electron is difficult from other atoms. Instead, if it donate 1 electron to the other atoms, what the structure it will get? It will get the structure 2 electrons, then 8 electrons. Now in the outermost shell, it will have the octet structure, 8 electrons. So their tendency of the sodium atom or the metals is to give electron to attain that stable octet structure. Okay, so I will write this one. So usually sodium have the tendency to, it has the electron 2, 8, 1, it has the tendency to give out the electron, so it will usually become a sodium ion plus, and that 1 electron have negative charge. Why I have written for sodium plus? You have seen in a sodium single atom, 11 electrons are revolving around the nucleus, and in the nucleus the positively charged proton also 11, right? Same number, electron number and proton number is same in case of atom. Now if a sodium atom gives out 1 electron in the outermost shell, it has got now 10 electrons, but the proton number is again not changing, same 11. So compared to proton and electron number is 1 less than the proton number. So it has gain, not gain in the sense the positive and negative charge imbalance takes place. One positive charge is more compared to negative charge, so I wrote plus. It is the cation. It is not now atom because it is given the electron. We won't call it atom. It is a ion. Ion usually we will write in bracket. It is sodium ion. Sodium ion, cation it is. Cation. Okay. Now come to the non-metal. Non-metal, chlorine. Chlorine we will take now. Chlorine atomic number is 17. Chlorine atomic number is Cl17. Electronic configuration, K shell how much? 2 only always. Next you have to fill L shell, L maximum 8 electrons. Again 2 plus 8, 10. Remaining how much out of 17? 2 plus 8, 10. 7 remaining. So 7 here. So valence shell, M shell have now 7 electrons. Now to get that octet structure, it is difficult to give 7 electrons. Instead, if you give 1 electron to this atom, now 7 will change into 8, right? So it will get that stable structure. As I said, the reaction of any element atoms takes place to get that stable structure, octet structure. Now if you see the chlorine atom, it needs only 1 electron to have that stable structure. So what it will do, it will react with other atoms to try to gain that electron. Okay. Now what it will do, usually its reaction is chlorine, it is tendency to take this one, its atomic number is 2, 8 and 7. So after becoming chlorine, it will take the electron, it is tendency to take the electron, then you will get chlorine negative. Charge is negative. Minus. Why it is minus now? Here it is 2, 8 electron now. Okay, because it has taken this electron and become electron is negative charge. So first chlorine atom has got positive negative charge, same 7 proton, 7 electron. Now it is taken 1 electron, so negative charge increases. This is nothing but chloride ion. We won't say chlorine ion, we will say chloride ion, and it is an ion. An ion. Negative ion are called an ion. Now if you see here, sodium want to give 1 electron to get that octet structure, and that electron it want to take by this chlorine to get the octet structure. So the reaction is possible between sodium atom, the metal, and the chlorine atom, which is the non-metal. Sodium will donate the electron ready to give, and chlorine is ready to take. So by giving sodium atom, it will get the octet structure, the stable structure, that is the tendency, and by taking that electron by the chlorine atom, it will get the octet structure, that is also its nature, right? So that it suits for both the atoms. So sodium will react with the chlorine, and when it will give the electron, ion formation takes place. Sodium, by giving one electron, it becomes sodium ion, the positive ion, and chlorine, by taking that one electron, it becomes negative ion, anion, chloride ion. That sodium ion and chloride ion, one is positive charge, one is negative charge. Opposite charges always attract, you know. So they have attraction between each other, they will get the attraction between each other, that opposite charges will attract each other, a bond formation takes place. They will held together by that attractive force, and you will get now sodium chloride, NaCl. Okay, and here the bond is called ionic bond. It is called ionic bond since the bond takes place between the ions, not the atoms. By giving or taking, the atom change into ion. After changing into ion, the bond will take place. So it is called ionic bond, or it is also called electrovalent bond. Electrovalent bond. Electrovalent bond. Now, if you want to show the electron dot structure of this formation of sodium chloride, sodium, outermost shell, 1 electron, right? Then it will react with the chlorine. Chlorine, outermost shell, we have how many electrons? Like pairs I will write. Outermost shell, valence shell, 7 electrons. You have seen 2, 4, 6, and here 7. Now this want to give this electron. So what will it do? It will give the electron to chlorine. Now what you will get? You will get now sodium ion. By giving this, it become positive. So there is no electron to show it in the diagram. This will become ion. So write it in the bracket. Then you have one more ion. By taking the electron, this become also ion, chloride ion, Cl. Now show the electron dot structure. Already it has got 7 electrons, 2, 4, 6, and it's 1, 7. And this electron, it will come here. So totally 2, 4, 6, 8 octet structure. By giving, there is no electron to show here. That dot I have shown here. So this is the bond, and it has got a negative charge now. So it is nothing but the ionic compound is sodium chloride. Okay. This is the electron dot structure. One more example I will take so that you will understand. That is magnesium chloride. Another ionic compound is magnesium chloride, MgCl2. Magnesium chloride, MgCl2. How the bond takes place? How to show the electron dot structure? Magnesium, Mg, atomic number is 12. So what is the electronic configuration? K shell, L shell, M shell, right? K shell always 2, next 8, L is 8 electrons, then 2 plus 8, 10, how much remaining? 2 more, 12, total number of electrons is 12, so 2 plus 8, 10 plus 2, 12. So if you see the valence shell, M shell here, we have 2 electrons. So to get the 8 electrons, better we will remove these 2 electrons, right? Easy to give 1 or 2 instead of taking 6. Okay, now it will get octet structure. So it want to give now not 1 electron, it want to give 2 electrons. So what is the tendency of magnesium? Magnesium, it will 2, 8 and 2, it will in the reaction it will give 2 electrons, and you have to write plus 2 here. By giving 1 electron, one charge will be more positive charge. By giving 2 electrons, 2 positive charge will be more in the nucleus compared to electron, and you will have 2 electrons here. Okay, and here it is 2 8 electron. This 2 is taken. It is magnesium ion. Magnesium ion, positive ion. Then chlorine ion you have seen. Now how the bond formation takes place. You have seen that chlorine wants only 1 electron, but magnesium want to give 2 electrons. So 1 electron is given to 1 chlorine atom. What that with the other electron it should do, that magnesium atom. No problem with 1 chlorine, one electron is taken by 1 chlorine atom, 1 more is left out in the magnesium atom to donate to the other atom. Now obviously what it will do, that magnesium atom, that the other electron left out is given to another chlorine atom. Okay, so one magnesium atom gives 2 electrons, one to first one chlorine atom and second electron to the next chlorine atom. Totally it will react with the 2 chlorine atoms. It will give 2 electrons to the 2 chlorine atoms, one electron each, and you will have 1 magnesium atom and 2 chlorine atoms. After giving, it is positive charge, 2 chlorine negative charges, all have the force of attraction, because after giving, when they come close, they will give and takes place, they become charged particles and opposite charges attracts and bond formation takes place, magnesium chloride, and the formula will write MgCl2, because it will give 2 electrons separately to 2 chlorine atoms, 1 for each. Okay. Now if you want to show the electron dot structure, magnesium, it has got 2 electrons in the outermost shell. I'll show it here. Okay, and chlorine, how many electrons in the outermost shell? 7, 2, 4, 6 and 7. I'll draw here little up, because I have to draw 2 chlorine atom, one here, one I will draw here. Here one, and here one more chlorine atom to take that electron given by magnesium. Okay, now this is 1 electron is given to this first chlorine atom, and this electron is given to the second chlorine atom. Okay, L it is, L. Now what is the reaction takes place after giving that one? Magnesium will become magnesium, it will give 2 electrons, 1, 2, so it become positive ion with the 2 charges. And chloride, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 electron of this. Okay, and you will have negative charge. It has, but totally how many chlorine atoms are there? 2, so I will write 2 here. That is the reason the formula is MgCl2. This is a chloride ion and this is a magnesium, the magnesium chloride, positive ion, negative ion attract each other, forms a magnesium chloride. Okay, this is the way they will react with each other, forming ionic compounds. And you have one home assignment, that is at home you have to try, children, sodium oxide. Page number 49. First one, extra questions. Write the electron dot structure for sodium. We have did already. Magnesium I have just now did. Oxygen I will do and I will show you. Then after that you have to show the formation of sodium oxide, one diagram, electron dot diagram, and magnesium oxide by transfer of electrons, as I did not to show it. And what are the ions present in this compound? Sodium oxide, sodium ion and oxide ion. In magnesium oxide, magnesium ion and oxide ion. I will give the ion formation of oxygen so that it will help you to draw this one. Oxygen symbol is O, atomic number of oxygen is 8. Okay, so electronic configuration is K shell, L shell. K shell is 2 and L shell is 6 here. Now valence shell is L shell here, outermost shell, it has got 6 electrons. Now to get octet structure, it needs 2 electrons, right? And oxygen, if you take sodium atom, when it reacts with oxygen, the sodium atom will give, they will show the diagram if you want, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will react with the two electrons. 2, 6, after taking it become 2 electrons, it will become 2 electrons, this one, okay, 2 electrons, it become negative charge. 2, 8 it will get, like this way. Now come to the sodium atom. The sodium oxide, they are given the formula Na2O. Why it is Na2O? Because sodium has to give, or a tendency to give only 1 electron. It don't have 2 electron in the valence shell, outermost shell. It has got only 1 extra electron. So it can give, one sodium atom can give 1 electron, but oxygen wants 2 electrons. So obviously it will react with the 2 separately with the sodium atoms and get the 2 electrons. So the formula is Na2O. Okay. Whereas in the magnesium oxide, the formula is MgO. Very simple it is. Magnesium has 2 electrons to donate, and that 2 electron is taken by one single oxygen atom. That is the formula MgO. Okay. Here sodium has only 1 electron, so one more sodium should react this oxygen atom to take that electron. Okay. That is the thing. Try to draw the electron dot structure at home. Okay. Now here metals, by giving electrons, that is their tendency to give the electrons, because usually metals have either 1 or 2, maximum 3 electrons in the valence shell. So usually easy for them to donate electron to get the octet structure, that stable structure. And whereas the non-metals have tendency to take the electrons because their electronic configuration in that outermost shell, if you see in the valence shell, either they may have 6 or 7 electrons or 5 electrons, so they will usually get the electrons. So their metals are electropositive elements because they tend to become positive ions by giving electrons, and non-metals are electronegative elements because they have tendency to take the electrons, negative charged particles, to become negative ions. Okay. So that is about the bond formation between metal and non-metal, and after getting that bond we will get the compounds, different salts usually we will refer in our day-to-day life. It may be sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, etc. Here these ionic compounds, they have usually solid state, they are in solid state, crystals, usually they are crystals, and if you powder them, you won't get a smooth powder. If you powder the salt at home, you try it, or table salt you have, no, you touch the table salt in your hand, and atta is there, no, atta, maida, or this one your wheat flour, if you touch and see, they have smooth structure. But if you touch and see today only at home, the sodium chloride, the ionic compound, the texture, it has got rough surface because it has got crystalline structure, and that you can apply the force, they may change into small powder. They are brittle. Ionic compounds are no doubt solids, they are brittle in nature. And if you take 1 spoon of salt and dissolve, try to put it in 1 cup of glass of water, what you will see? You know that salt will dissolve in water, right? Salt will dissolve in water, but if you take that same salt, try to dissolve in kerosene, organic solvent, it won't dissolve. It won't dissolve. How much you stir it in petrol or kerosene, this salt, it won't dissolve at all. Only in water it will dissolve. Okay, that is the second property of the ionic compounds. The next one is whether they will conduct electricity or not. If you take solid state of the salt and try to make it, like if you take one battery connection, and if you take some bulb structure here, and if you the two ends of this battery, if you put it in a plate containing a not metallic, plastic plate, you have to take some salt and solid salt, and the two ends you bring it and connect it, the bulb will not glow, indicating it won't allow, the solid state won't allow the current to flow. But instead of that, in a plastic glass you can try it. In a plastic glass, if you take the salt in a liquid form, dissolve it in water, and see, if you take the graphite rod, half immersely you have to take with that salt water, the bulb will glow, indicating when you take the ionic compounds in the solution form, in the liquid form, it will conduct electricity. Now, how it will conduct electricity? Because it is always not the atom present in sodium chloride or any ionic compound. That compound will form, ionic compound will form by the combination of the ions, not the atoms. Ions are always the charged particles. So when you put it in the water, they dissociate, it breaks into ions easily, and these ions, when you make the charge to flow through them, the movement of ions takes place, which will help the conduction of electric current in their solution. Even if you take the salt or the ionic compound from solid, if you heat it strongly, change into liquid state, molten state, again in that molten state also, because when you change into liquid state, the ions can move freely. In solid, the ions cannot move. So current it cannot able to pass. But in the liquid state, the ions can freely move. So the conduction of charged particle is possible. So current will flow in the molten state of ionic compound or salt solution of the solution state. It will conduct electricity. And lastly, the ionic compounds. If you take 1 spoon of salt or ask your mummy to heat it in a gas, and you see 1 minute, 2 minutes, take in a spoon and try to heat it in LPG gas. Okay. Now here, if you take 5 minutes, 10 minutes also, it won't melt. Salt will not melt usually. Then you say, will it not melt at all? It will melt, but you have to heat, you have to raise the temperature around 800 degrees Celsius or around 1000 Kelvin scale, you have to heat it. Its melting point of ionic compounds are very, very high. Easily it won't melt so easily. They have tendency to melt at higher temperature. Do you know what is the reason? Why it will take much heat energy to melt? Because as the structure says, they are ionic compound, positive charge and negative charge. When they attract each other, the force of that electrostatic force is so strong, you have to heat it strongly to overcome that attraction. To separate them, you have to provide more heat energy to separate it, then only they will change into liquid state. Because so strongly that electrostatic force between that positive ion and negative ion in the ionic compound is much more. So you have to provide much heat energy, you have to raise the temperature so much that its melting point is much more, the ionic compounds. So these are the important properties of ionic compounds. So at home, go through this today, the reaction of metals with the non-metals, formation of ionic compounds. That one extra work I have given, sodium oxide and magnesium oxide. Try to draw that electron dot structure and go to the properties of ionic compounds. Okay. Thank you, children.